Hi, so I'm going to do a follow-up video on men going their own way. Um, I didn't realize how controversial it would be. Um, I just stated my opinion in my first video, so I'll go into a little bit more detail, and I'll try to keep this video as short as possible, under 7 minutes. Um, I am not against marriage, but I do understand the business side of marriage. There are two types of marriages. One is obviously the getting married between a man and a woman before the eyes of God. That's a religious one. And of course, there's a legal one that must coincide with any belief system. There's no way around it. You must get a marriage license from the state, and you must sign the marriage contract. That is a given. So, that contract, based on my experience doing a lot of contracts, business contracts, is still a contract. It's a legally binding document. It has nothing to do with love. It has nothing to do with anything except an agreement between two entities, so two business parties. And it's there that I have a issue with. And I do not think it's men are getting the short end of the stick with that. I believe that whoever brings the most wealth, financial wealth to the merger, they're the ones that's going to be shafted if the business falls apart, the partnership falls apart, and that is for me as a man a very scary prospect. And it should be for women who bring a lot more to the table. And of course, you have to deal with things like trust and all that. But again, it comes down to personal choice. I cannot advise anybody to get married or to go their own way, because it's again a personal thing. I do not know the dynamics of the relationship, nor do I know the economical situation or anything about a stranger's choice to or not to get married. Now, in general terms, because men put a lot of emphasis on creating an environment to attract women, because believe it or not, we did grow up hearing our fathers or men talk about how we need to take care of women and things we need to do and how to treat women. And we also hear women talk about how men should treat women growing up as kids. And all the disdain that we hear that men do not do. And in most cases, we're not really hardwired to do some of those things. We're not emphatic. We're more analytical, and we're more about solving issues, not really listening to complaints, but looking for the solutions to eliminate the complaints. So, men love women. Heterosexual men love women, and we have no problems getting married, except for the fact that there's no real benefit when you look at it from as a business prospect to get married, because I can create men and women can seem to be able to create the same situation with just being together and not really necessarily getting married. Now, despite the benefits, there are some benefits to getting married. And as I mentioned in the last video, and I think I mentioned it towards the end, which for this video I'll mention it now, is that when you're married to someone you love and they love you, and something goes wrong, you get sick, you're in a coma, you can't make a decision for yourself. Your wife or husband has the right to be in the hospital with you and to make decisions on your behalf. And in cases where people are not married yet they have kids, they may have a house together and things like that, if something goes wrong, you get to see the ugliness of people because of the greed from family members who may not have liked your spouses or partners for whatever reason, and they only show it when you're not there to defend them. And without the marriage license, without a marriage contract, your wife, if you're a man, or your husband, if you're a woman, can be shunned and removed from the hospital or funeral or any situation where you cannot make that decision for them. And if you all own property together, guess what? If your family do not like them and there are no kids really involved, your family can take every half your all of your part of whatever you all built together. So if both of you all have a house together, the deceased or the families, they can come in and take that half to belong to their son or daughter. So you will have to sell the house, you will get your half, his or her mother or family member next of kin will get that half. And of course then you got to start over again. It doesn't matter if you have kids, none of that, because I've seen it almost 100% of the time actually, where couples are together and when a loved one die, when one of them die, the greed of family members show itself, and they pretty much they take what everything that they can, leaving the surviving partner struggling, leaving the kids struggling, because now the partner has to rebuild everything with half of what they have. And it's devastating. So I do believe in marriage or a legal system that protects spouse partnerships. However, there need to be some form of amendment to those contracts where a person coming in with who did all the work by himself or herself to generate the income or the value that person is bringing to the table should be able to leave if the business agreement falls apart. They should be able to leave with everything that they came to the table with and not just walk away with half. If nothing was accomplished during the relationship or any growth together with that partner, the person coming into it originally should be able to walk away with everything that they came in there with and not be forced to have to give half of that because it's not a fair contract. And that's where I believe men going their own way when it comes to marriage comes in, because men tend to chase a career and build up that money because that's what they think women want. And in some cases that's what women want, but it's not I can't say it's a blanket situation. But I have encountered those type of women and I stayed clear of them, even though I had fairly amount of money and career. I tend to look at it very, very carefully. And it can be a lonely road when you walk down, when you have to look at that. But the peace of mind that comes with it is worth every bit of that loneliness when it occurs. So hopefully you like the video, subscribe, ask questions in the comment section below. Again, I'm not against marriage because there are some serious benefits to it. And if you look at my other video, I mentioned some of the other benefits that I won't go over in this video because I'm already at 10 minutes. So, you all have a good day.